It's time to peel back with Maddie Levine, presented by Fight Bananas.
I think rests are necessary. So thank you for letting me take a week off. It is Maddie Levine, and I had such a great 4th of July week and vacation with my family. It was nice to kind of, unplug, unwind a little bit, but now we're right back into it. We're right back into all the MMA news, all the fight news. And as always, thank you for tuning in to the Peel Back with Fight Bananas. And I'm really excited to be joining the Cage Titans team yet again for their big show coming up on July 22nd. So we're 10 days away now. It's really exciting. I love their shows every single time. They have such an amazing group. Michael Pulver really knows how to put on a good show. He does it every single time. And if you've ever been to a live Cage Titans event, you understand how crazy that crew gets, that crowd gets. It's so electric and it's so exciting. We have a lot of exciting fights, but there's a lot of exciting, not only professional fights, but there's also some amateur fights going on. A big title is on the line, and we have one of those contenders today. So Brody McDougal, welcome to the show, buddy.
Hi, Maddie. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. So is it McDougal or McDougal? I should have asked this before.
It's McDougal. No worries.
Okay, I'm glad I asked because I would have kept messing it up, and you deserve to have the correct name on this podcast. So Brody McDougal, welcome to the show. Where are you joining me from?
Rochester, New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. All right, very nice. And is it true? I mean, you're going up for a title fight, and we'll get into that for sure. But is it true you've only been training for like 2.5 years?
Yeah, it's been a little bit longer than that now. I think I'm probably pretty close to like my 3-year anniversary at Nostos. Yeah, but no, I haven't been training super long. I'd like to think I just maybe had a little bit more of a, natural gravity to the sport than, somebody else would. That's helped me, pick up on things a little bit quicker. But I was a hockey player all growing up, always, an athlete. I didn't think I was ever a spectacular athlete by any means. But I was always, in athletics playing sports. So, I think like overall you develop hand-eye coordination and just like working out, just strengthening your body, prepared me to be able to make this jump.
I mean, that's really incredible that, 3 years, some people don't even start fighting until they have at least 3 years of training under their belt. And you're already going up for your second amateur title. So that's really impressive. What got you in the gym? Like, what made you put down the hockey stick and go into the MMA gym?
Yeah. So originally COVID, I was always a huge fan of mixed martial arts growing up. Even when I was a little kid, me and my brothers would always wrestle around and like have our own little fake MMA fights with each other. We were obsessed with The Ultimate Fighter when the TV show first came out. Forrest Griffin, Stephen Bonner, and then just like the original, not like the original UFC fights, but they were, original UFC fights for me. It was like Chuck and Tito, kind of that era. So that was when we got really big into it. And I think part of it was like, they helped sell it with those like WWE almost type personalities that they built in those original characters, So yeah, I was just always a fan growing up. Just watching gladiators like that, as a little kid, you're like, man, how are those guys so tough? How are those guys so strong? And I think it's something I just looked up to so much as a child that I think I always knew I wanted to at least train in some capacity. I didn't know I necessarily wanted to fight.
Right.
And then due to COVID, my senior year, the usual gym that I would train at to get ready for my hockey season was closed. And the only gym that was open locally was Nostos MMA. So I was working a pizza delivery job. I was literally in the middle of a shift. I called Devin and was just like, hey man, like I'm just a hockey kid. Like, I don't know kind of what flies and what doesn't fly. I'm not familiar with like MMA gym culture, but like, I just want to come in and be able to train and be in cardiovascular shape for my hockey season. Is that a possibility? And he was like, yeah, absolutely, man. Like, I think the cross training between MMA, would, help you, with your cardio significantly. And he was very right about that. I found out the first night. And yeah, I stepped in Nostos MMA, and I think if it wasn't the first day, it was within the first week. I genuinely knew like I want to do this for the rest of my life.
That's so powerful, man, because it's like, a lot of people train MMA, but there's a very small amount that are like, yeah, I'm going to get in there and fight. So, what was it about the culture, the sport that made you go, yep, I want to do this?
I've always been kind of a freak competitor, if you will. Like I've like, my nickname now is the American Psycho, but like I've definitely always kind of had that like psycho competitor side to me. I don't think necessarily in like a violent way, just in like a really hating to lose way.
Yeah, I feel that.
Which is kind of, lended its hand into making that step to getting in the cage. And just the fact like I just love the MMA. Like there's no truer, fairer competition, I don't think, really in this world anymore than like I sign a contract because I think I can beat your ass. You're going to sign a contract because you think you're going to beat my ass. And we're going to get in a lock cage and one of us is going to be right,
Yeah, there's something very powerful about being like, all right, like we can talk the talk, but like let's also walk the walk at this date at this time. Like it's badass. So you trained out of Nostos MMA, training under Devin Powell. Now this man, he seems like a very interesting person. I don't know if I've ever officially met him, but I'm certainly familiar with him. What is it like training under a guy like Devin Powell?
Man, how do I sum it up? Honestly,
It might be hard.
Devin is a true professional in the sense of his expectations for us are extremely high. And when it comes to being a coach, Devin is extremely dialed in and extremely serious. And like, even for kind of the goofy way he carries himself a lot of the time, Devin doesn't take any shit. So like that would be the first thing. I think that's what lends itself to our performance and the success that our team has as a whole. Now, Devin as a person, like I said, just like a kind of just like a goofy ball of energy. I just describe him to people as like he's just a dude that lives his life kind of like in the cloud. Seems like a rude way of putting it. I don't mean it in that way, but like he just like he goes to the beat of his own drum, right?
Yeah.
He's just like this thing I think of Devin all the time is I remember when I first started training at the gym. And you expect this like hardcore, like tough MMA coach, right? And I remember, I think it was the second or third day I was there. He had just bought in some like M&Ms or something, like a little package of candy from down the street. And I just see him walking down the street, and he's like almost skipping down the street, like hands it like with his head in the air, like just dumping these candies down his
living his
mouth,
best
like,
life.
Yeah, and like that's just him, man. Like Devin's never putting on a persona for anybody. Like he's just very uniquely himself. I think that helps us also as a team, like be ourselves around him. You know what I mean? Like that. I've never felt like I need to be guarded in any way around Devin. Like he's very easy to talk to. He's very understanding. But again, he's a hard coach at the end of the day too, and he has very tough expectations for each of us.
Yeah, it sounds like he has a great balance of, okay, we got to get our shit together and our work done, but we're going to enjoy ourselves while we do this. So it sounds like a really good culture.
I'm sorry to cut you off. That was just a really, really great way of explaining it. Was I think like he has the expectations he sets out for us, right? But like he allows you to meet those expectations in the way that fits you. You know what I mean? Like I might not train the same way somebody else trains. And we will have the same expectations, the same classes we have to hit. But like, because the way we like to train, we might just do things a little bit differently or at different times of the day. Right. And he's always willing to, make things work for us in that sense too. So
now I'm just curious, has he ever brought his pet pig to the gym?
All the time. Yeah.
All the time?
I would argue Phoebe's in there more than she's not in there. Yeah. She's got her little bed in the lobby. And he's got 2 other dogs. I don't know if you know, one's a husky and one's a husky mix.
Oh, beautiful.
So yeah, they're always in there. We have other dogs that are in there too. We have coaches that have dogs that, it's dog friendly in Nostos. So yeah.
Wow, that sounds like such a vibe.
You just want to pet puppies coming to Nostos.
That's what I mean, pet pigs, pet puppies, whatever. Like such a vibe there. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So a couple months back, I think you were on Table Titans for Cage Titans, and you said something that popped out at me rather that I really liked. And I thought it was a little wise of you for, your young career. And you were saying how you like to display the evolution of your skills. And like with each fight, you want to show off like maybe what you've been working on or just how you continue to evolve. So when you step into the cage on the 22nd, what are you hoping to display that you have evolved since your last showing?
That's hard because I think I've genuinely evolved like so much since my last showing. It's hurt me a little bit, that I haven't been able to, get in the Cage Titans cage, and it's been over a year now. And again, my fight with reality was so quick that I'm not complaining, you know what I mean?
Right.
I didn't get to showcase, I don't really think, like a lot of the skills that I've developed. Obviously, I showcased some of my jiu-jitsu I've been working very hard on by getting the sub. But outside of that, like I really think like I've developed my skill set, and I have such great training partners around me all the time, that I just know like I've really reached this new level. And even though I haven't been doing it that long, like John Jones was UFC champ after 3 years of training too. So I mean, like I really think I'm going to surprise a lot of people with just how much I've developed in this last year, not even just these last 3 years. And that I'm really on another level.
That's exciting. I need to ask about this Brody party bus as well. You mentioned a party bus, and I was like, okay, my ears are perked up now. What is that?
So we weren't able to make the party bus happen for this one, unfortunately. We're going to have to get it to happen for the next one. So I have some family friends that are in North Conway, and they have like access to buses
Cool.
through the actual school. So they were gonna, rent a school bus for the night, and they were gonna, just like make stops all the way from North Conway, New Hampshire, at different spots, and just keep picking up, friends and family.
Wow.
Until they made it to Plymouth, Massachusetts. It was obviously a sick idea, still a sick idea. But they're not able to make it happen this one. We'll try and make it happen the next one, though.
I mean, you definitely got something there. Like, that is quite the experience to have basically a party bus trip to the fights. Like, that's pretty solid. And then would you go back with them, you think, after your victory?
I don't know. It depends on the night, right? I mean, I have the hotel room right in Plymouth, Massachusetts if I don't feel like traveling far. But yeah, no, if I had the energy in me, for sure, I'd go back on them.
Yeah, why not, right? Like, you might as well.
Yeah.
But you have business to attend to first. You do have this welterweight title, which is super exciting. You're going to be fighting Ozzy Martin. And he's 2-0 himself. You're undefeated. He's undefeated. He's got 2 KOs. And I was checking out his last performance at Cage Titans. It was strikingly similar to yours. You guys had very similar finishes. So what did you think of his performance?
Yeah, I mean, Ozzy cracks for sure. Throws super hard. I'm not discounting the danger there in any sense. I'm sure he has the power to put me out. But again, with that being said, like I definitely have the power to put him out too. And yeah, I really think I'm just on a totally another level than he is. I think I'll get to show that, on July 22nd. But yeah, again, not discounting anything from him. Like he's definitely a competitor. I think he's a very good mixed martial arts fighter. I think he could go very far in the sport as well. I just think at especially this point in our careers, I've kind of hit another level that he hasn't really been able to touch yet. I'm hoping to show that.
Yeah, so that was kind of going to be my next question was, what do you think the big difference maker is going to be here? You do have experience with a title fight. Obviously, that comes with differences. So what do you think will be the difference maker?
Yeah, I think just honestly like showing there's levels to this game, right? Like my movement, I think my speed, kind of the overall like artisticness of my style when I'm in there, I think will show itself and lend its hand in this fight a lot. Because again, I expect him to be, heavy forward pressure. I mean, he's Toro, right? He's the bull. He's gonna come try and throw bombs. He's gonna try and take my head off. But can't hit what you can't touch.
There you go. The psycho and the bull. I mean, it writes itself, right?
Yeah.
So this will be your fourth MMA fight, right? 5 fights overall.
Yeah.
Obviously no rush to get into the professional rankings, but do you have an idea of maybe turning professional in the near future?
Yeah, definitely. A lot of my closest training partners have just made the leap from amateur to pro. They're all having success. Shout out to Nate Grimard, also from our gym. He was kind of like the OG from our group that leapt from that amateur rank to pro rank. He's 4-2 as a pro now, and he's actually about to make his PFL debut in August. So kind of like him leading the charge, getting on the world stage now. The rest of my training partners that, I know how I compete with them in the gym every day.
Right.
Just, gives me like that stick to measure myself off of, if you will, and gives me the confidence that, yeah, I'm probably ready to make that jump pretty soon here.
That's an exciting conversation. I mean, it's scary. Do you think you would leave your desk job? I know you have a desk job too.
No, not off the bat.
Right.
So I'm really, really lucky and fortunate. The company I work for, Drip, they're awesome. My direct manager, Lauren, is super understanding, and like appreciates the fact that, this is my dream at the end of the day. We've had open conversations with each other that I've, been able to express the fact that, like, I like working here, right? Like it's nice to have a paycheck, and like I genuinely enjoy doing my job for the most part during the day. But at the end of the day, also I don't wake up and dream of being a marketer, right? Like I don't dream of sending emails and stuff. I dream of, fighting in the UFC one day, and being on that world stage. And they understand that, I'm a 26-year-old. And if God forbid MMA didn't work out for me, like I can always be in marketing, right? I have a very short period of time to chase this dream. And like they're very understanding of that. And, they let me, within reason, take the time that I need to, get done what I need to get done.
It's always nice to have that kind of support because not everybody does. So that's great. I love your fight name. Super fun. American Psycho. Great movie. So looking into a little pop culture here, 2 movies coming out next weekend that everyone's talking about. You got Oppenheimer and Barbie. Okay. So, I mean, which one are you most likely to see?
So it's really funny you brought this up. So after every weight cut, we take the Friday night and we go watch a movie as a team usually.
Nice.
So that like Carolyn had came up to me and said like, hey, like, do you know this movie Oppenheimer that's coming out? She's like, it's a Christopher Nolan movie. I love Christopher Nolan. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm super into it. And she was like, all right, like good. It's 3 hours long. If that's okay. I was like, yeah, like that's fine. Like whatever. We got nothing else going on that night. Right.
Right.
And she was like, yeah, well, good. Because your only other choice would have been Barbie.
Right. I mean, come on. It looks pretty good.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. That looks tough.
It looks pretty tough. It looks pretty tough. Oppenheimer looks pretty good. So that might be your best bet. But that's so cool that you guys go to the movies. That makes the most sense, right? I mean, you're refueling, you're rehydrating. You might as well watch a movie. That's pretty cool.
I mean, especially like I eat so much on that Friday. Like,
oh, geez.
By the time I eat like my lunch, my couple snacks, my dinner, like, yeah, like I just like roll me into a movie theater, plop me in a seat, and like let me sit there and digest for 3 hours.
Yeah, I feel that, man. That's so exciting. Well, we're counting down the days. We're getting there to Cage Titan 60. I mean, what would you like to say to your fans, your family, anybody that'll be in attendance on July 22nd?
Just that I'm super grateful for all their support. I've been working really, really, really hard, the hardest I possibly could to make this happen. And at the end of the day, no matter, which way it goes, like I love doing this. Genuinely, I'm super grateful just to be able to do this sport, and be able to make that walk. There are people that, aren't able to do so, for, many different reasons. And, that's a significant motivator for me. So yeah, just that I'm grateful for all your support, and that, I'm going to try not to let you guys down.
Brody McDougal going up for the amateur welterweight title at Cage Titan 60, July 22nd. I believe tickets are still kind of sort of available, but they're going like crazy.
I got some in hand. So if you guys want them, hit me up.
Perfect. So hit up Brody for those tickets, and we hope to see you at the show at Plymouth Memorial Hall. Brody, can't wait to see you, and best of luck.